Ozio, hello, it's me, Justin, again with you today. And today in Kispoko Town, we are reconstructing history again. I have today with me Bailey and Jake, our volunteers for the Clark County Park District. And today we're going to be using the 4 sacred elements to create a dugout canoe. Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on our work from last time when we did the daubing on the wattle and daub wall. And so last time we got a little bit done right here, and so since then we've done a lot more daubing, and we're all the way up to where we have just a little corner here. We're going to be using some of this clay on the dugout canoe, and so as we're doing that, we'll be coming over here and using the leftover clay to finish this little part. So there's a quick update on what we did last time. Hi guys, how we doing today? Today we're working on the reconstructing the history, and we're going to be using the 4 sacred elements to create a dugout canoe. Bailey, can you name one of the 4 sacred elements?
Earth. Fire.
What about you, Donna?
Water.
So that leaves air. Okay, so there's earth, water, fire, and air. And these are the 4 sacred elements. And when they're combined together, we can use them to create a dugout canoe. Jake, if you want to run over there to the daub area and grab us a little bit of clay, me and Bailey will start working on insulating. Because as we knew from last time, from our last daubing, we always use clay as an insulator. And the dugout canoe is all burnt out. So we'll take a little bit of that. You know, that's really dry. Let's get a little bit of water and just go over our things so we can get a little bit wet there. All right, and of course there's more water here, but we're gonna come in here, me and Bailey, and we're gonna start insulating in the areas using our daub, our clay, where we don't want the fire to burn. Okay, so this dugout canoe is a practice of the 4 sacred elements, the sacred medicine wheel. And as people, we all have, each race of humanity has a spot in this sacred medicine wheel. The earth, the daub that we're using now, that's symbolized by the American Indian. The American Indian are the people of the earth. And we have wonderful ceremonies for using the earth and keeping things in balance. We're the insulators, right? Then you also have the air, which if you see here, we'll take a little bit, back up a little bit here, I don't want to burn you. Okay, we'll take a little bit of dirt, a little bit of wood, and we'll place it on our fire that we had burning earlier. And then I will take my fan, which is the air part. And that's the part of the humans that have that element are the Asians, the celestials, because they are with the stars and they're the star people up in the air. So they have great ceremonies. So what we'll do is we'll take the air and we'll use birds. They're always going to symbolize the air, right? So in this case we have a peacock wing. Back up a little bit, Bailey. I don't want to get you. I'm going to get this fire going. And you see we're going to use wind, the air, to blow fire. Now fire is a very special element as well, and it has a race of people. It has the white men. The white men have fire. That is their special ceremony. And look at what we've done with fire today. We have fire running through the wires that gives us all power. We're filming this show today with fire. We've literally gone to the moon with fire. So the white men have their element of fire. Now, there's also water. And Bailey, if you'll take a little bit of that gourd there, and you'll go over and just kind of continually sprinkle. See, like this one's not really wet. But dump me a little water on there. So we have the element of water. And we use that with the element of earth to insulate and keep wood from burning that we don't want to burn. So that's going to be our main insulator. And the water, well, that goes with the black people. And the black people, they have their ceremonies for the water. And water is very important usually in the indigenous areas where black people come from. So you will see that these four main elements, when brought together in one circle, one race of people, all humans in one circle, we can come together to achieve great things. And so with all four elements working together at peak performance, it comes together into a perfect circle, into a center point, that center point of the medicine wheel, to be able to achieve something together. This is the way that we make a dugout canoe. Now the dugout canoe is a very important mode of transportation in the eastern woodlands. Very solid. A lot of people think of the birch bark canoe. Those would have been up further north, and that's just because the birch trees grow up north, right? Okay, so we're going to keep going here. This is a dugout canoe. This is made out of ash wood because we have the emerald ash boring beetle here in the park, and so we have tons of trees and things. And hey, that's not the way I showed you how to do Dob. What in the world? You're supposed to get that in between your toes and on your fingers and all over. What are you doing? What do you got going on
I
there?
was trying to be clean.
Let me see this. Oh my goodness. How are you doing that? Let me see that again. Oh my goodness. The apprentice has become the master. I have learned something today. So, you know, the last time we were doing the daubing on the wall over there, we all got in there and had a real good time, you know, and just got it all over us. Apparently Jake has gotten wise here, and he has developed a way of mixing this daub without getting any on him. That's pretty good, buddy. One thing about this clay that we're using as the insulator on the canoe here is that we're not putting that binding in there. Remember when we got the grass clippings and we put it in there? That's not going to serve us any good here, because that's going to dry out and that's going to be like tinder, and it's going to not control the fire. Little fires are going to build under it and everything like that. So that's really good. I'm impressed, sir. So what we're all going to do is we just come over here and let's put a bunch of wood. I got wood here, I've got wood here, and I've got wood there, and let's just start putting it in this dugout canoe, and we're going to continue to burn. Now here at the park, we're usually about in the late 1700s, about 1790 or so. So we have access to iron tools. We use an adze, A-D-Z, adze. It's very much like an axe, A-X, where an axe is vertical, and adze is just an axe turned on its side so that we can carve in. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue. If you want to use the fan, Bailey, to go ahead and fan those flames and keep it going real good for us. So what we do is, over here we've already started to burn a little bit. So we're going to, as we get to white ash, as you'll see the white ash starting to develop in there, once we get to white ash, we'll then extinguish the fire or switch it to another position and chip out what we've consumed. So that's where we're at over here. I'm going to take the adze, the iron adze, which in prehistory, it would have been the same tool, except this would have been stone and not iron, right? So, but here, since we're in 1790, the natives had quite a lot of access to iron. So we'll use the adze to come and start chipping some of that charcoal away. And you can see how that's starting to work. Okay, and then if you want to go ahead and continue right there, Jake, what I was doing there, we also have a little bit of a high gunnel right here. The parts of the boat right here that are part of the main hull here, that's the gunnel area. And if you can see here, I'm a little big, so I'm going to take the adze and I'm just going to shave that line off. A lot of people are saying, hey man, you know, that boat ain't going to fit nobody. and really at this stage it wouldn't, no. But we're going to end up dropping this down all the way out to here and to here. So that'll make it a lot wider of a boat, and so we'll have more capacity. but it's still going to be quite small. Later on, we're going to be taking my old dugout canoe. This is our new one. It's not quite finished yet. We got quite a bit of work we'll be doing on this. We'll be taking my old dugout canoe, which is right here, and we'll be going up to the lake and giving it a try just so you can see how a dugout canoe works. This one's made out of a maple log, whereas this one was ash. I got this one from the city. They were clearing trees to make new sidewalks, and so I got with the city and I got this big old log and made this when I was a very young man. It's about 15 years old now. This has been in Lake Michigan. This has been in Lake Ontario. It's been on every river in the state of Ohio and many lakes. It's a very good boat. It has been tarred on the inside. Again, this one's very old, so it has certain things happen. Seams open up where branches were and things of that nature. So over time, I've tarred the inside of it just to give it a little bit more time. And later on, we'll be going up to the lake and playing around with this, and you guys can check that out. So we continue our work. We keep chopping until we have all good white wood exposed. You know, let's take this and start taking those charcoal and just kind of work it right back on up into the fire. Yeah, you want to get in there and see what's going on. So as you can see, Bailey is laying that wood out and she's fanning it. Now it's going to continue to burn and go and go and go. We have to keep an eye the whole time. Traditionally, they would do this entire process in the water. You got to think, there's no machinery to be able to move a very large lake. And some of these canoes were up to 40 feet long. These canoes could be up to 40 foot long, holding up to 24 passengers. So very large. So back in the old days, you know, there's no tractors, there's no type of thing. In the 1700s, we got horses, we got oxen, we got people, but there's not a whole lot of ways to move that kind of weight. We're talking about several tons of weight. So what would typically be done is a tree would be selected next to the river. A tree that would be of high quality, typically tulip poplar, cottonwood, softer trees that are going to be lighter and get really big, okay? And so they would cut these trees and fall them into the river. This is the main means of moving all this weight. And so the actual burning and the chipping out would happen on the water. So the water would be insulating all the way around your hole, so it would make it much harder to burn all the way through. Now that's another thing we got to keep an eye, and you'll see Bailey right now, she's putting more water, keeping those effects of the medicine wheel up, right? She's going to keep that because that's going to keep drying out. And as that dries out, it can then get so hot that the clay can begin to burn the wood. So she's going to keep it wet so that we keep insulating that area. Now you'll see the white ashes we talked about earlier. Again, once those white ashes form, we got to move on. We can start chipping that area because the ashes will begin to insulate and you won't make any more progress. So you got to have nice, hot, fresh with air moving underneath of it. That a part of those four elements always moving. Okay, so we're going to keep right on working here. We're going to keep right on the chopping. Some of these canoes could be stretched. Now, I don't think we could do that with this piece of ash. You know, it was mostly rotted from the emerald ash core. It's a wonderful demonstration, but some canoes, if they're cut green, if the wood's cut green, they can then put fire inside or even heat up rocks and put them inside the hole once you've got it mainly hollowed out, and then put hides over it, or even to modern times today we'll put plastic tarp over it, and that'll begin to steam the wood. We could then make some ribs and some beams, and we could fit them in there and take and pull those sides apart and then lock them in place with a rib in there to hold it apart. So there were typically pines and cedars, and the northwest coast is real popular to do that type of thing. So I doubt we'll do that with this one, but we got our work cut out. Most of this work that you see here now was done by the kids during the last fair here at the park. In 2 days, you can be amazed at what 1,000 kids can do. And literally, they did most of this chopping just with the adzes, not an axe, an adze. They kept using adzes, and one get on one end and one on the other, and they did all this work. So all we're doing right now is just coming along and smoothing out some of the stuff they're doing. Now, if you'll see right here, we're starting to get in there. See how that's going right in there? Come on in here, Donna, and have a look in there. You see how our fire is starting to get away from us in there? It's really hollowing out. It's because we're getting a draft coming up the log, and it's causing it to vent on that. So what do? Oh no, we have to come into our next big element, right? We bring in our water element, and we just have to stop that dead in its tracks. It's a smoky, dirty job, obviously.
And it doesn't keep away the corn flies.
It does not. It does not. But yeah, so now that's pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll come in now and restart. That thing just wants to roll away. Restart that fire on the backside. Now, one of the major mistakes that most people make when they're building one of these dugout canoes is to walk away and go do something with the fire burning. There's multiple canoes that have been ruined from that. Like right now, when we saw that spot where it was starting to get in there, you got to get right on that, because what'll happen is, like you see the cracks here, it'll vent through one of those cracks and it'll explode and just blow a big old hole out the side. My first dugout canoe, I destroyed it that very same way. And it's just a learning process. The fire is its own special animal, right? You can go all the way to the moon with that fire. Okay, so we'll continue to work on this canoe. It'll probably be another couple years. This is more for demonstration. It's here for the kids and for you people to come out to the park and just experience something new. And again, we're making wise use of what the emerald ash borer has done to our forest here. So, you know, we got all this material laying around, and so, you know, this is going to be here for the kids, for everybody to come and work on and play with. We'll get it done at our own leisure. When we're done with this one, we got another log right over there. We can start a whole nother one, you know, and there'll probably be more after that. I mean, we're losing probably 75% of the forest here to the emerald ash borer. It's quite devastating. So there's constant material, and we're trying to do our best with that. So from here on, what we're going to do is I'm going to go and drag this canoe up to the lake. And we're going to do a little bit of fishing and some going around. So I hope to see you guys soon. So
and
back
now
over
they
here.
are finishing daubing the last structure they were working on last time.
That's it. I like your style.
In the middle is more wet.
Oh no! Squish it in there. That's what holds it on.
No kissing. But we got a thin spot over here.
So that is a peewee calling behind us, if anybody cares. Peewee. Okay, Bailey, finish it up.
Oh, I broke the stick.
Ooh, there's a hawk in the background. Sorry, bird nerd here, talking about the birds in the background.
Oh, it does sound like it says Pee-wee. Ta-da!
Got it? Yay!
Yeah.
Bailey says, I did it all. Jake says, no, you did not.
Miss. Uh-oh.
Justin, what are you doing?
Hey, Bailey. I'm fishing.
With a spear? What
Well,
is it, 1790?
I was looking for my keys.
Wait for your keys.
Yeah. Dropped my keys out of the boat.
Okay, well, that's why you use a magnet fishing rather than fishing with your face.
Well, that's the way the old people did it.
You're not old, you're like 27.
No, 1790, lady.
They don't make Apple Watches in 1790, so it's a wrong century, buddy.
Whip out the rules.
Let me check the rules.
I was
Here's
just,
all fishing regulations. No spear fishing. Hey, where's your life jacket?
well, the boat floats.
Yeah, you don't float.
Well, it's okay.
No, it's not.
I made this boat
I'm
out
gonna
of
call
a
Chris.
tree.
He's gonna come and ranger arrest you and stick you in that cave.
What?
Don't do that. You gotta adhere to the rules. Listen, I know you're like here all the time and you help us and that's cool. So like, maybe I won't tell Donna, but don't spearfish again, okay?
Oh, too late. I'm right
I
here.
will really try to do better.
You gotta get a magnet. Go magnet fishing for your keys.
Okay. I'll do that next time, I promise. You know I love this park and I love you guys. You guys are the best.
I know, you're hilarious.
Oh, I got in the mud. All right.
So hey guys, this has been our reconstructing the history on the Dugout Canoe. You know, I get a lot of questions, you know, does that float? And here's your photographic proof. Yes, it does float. But a more pertinent question to ask me is, how does it track? This is a nautical term. This is referring to how it steers. And I would say not so well. We track off a little bit to the right and the left. Takes a double paddle on the right side to get a movement. So we don't track too well. But otherwise, it's a really good boat. And it does really good. My maple dugout canoe. So I hope you guys have enjoyed our adventure today. And I sure hope that you guys will subscribe and like this. We can use all that we can get. Tell your friends about it, and come on out to George Rogers Clark Park next time you get a chance. Lots of fun.
Make sure you comment. Thanks, guys.